Traveling machine here. Down and around. What's that? I believe we're having an issue today with the next day. Oh, no, we already know. There's always three things. Yeah.
Hey everybody, we're just still trying to connect to Facebook, but I think we'll just go ahead and start. Just a couple of housekeeping things. The air conditioner's broken, that's why we've got this lovely unit on. So we're trying to use the microphone so everyone can hear us over that noise, but hopefully they'll be.
Yeah.
How about that? Okay. Well, take it away if I start singing. Okay, so we've got, I just want to explain a little bit about the agenda tonight. We're going to go through some items. We do have the committee reports, so everyone's going to be doing that this month because we do that quarterly. Then we're going to adjourn the meeting, and then we're going to have an open forum, so that's when we can ask the questions. And then after that, we'll have meet the candidates. So I just kind of wanted to remind everyone how it's going to flow. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and we'll do Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Secretary, can you establish a quorum?
Establish quorum, Maureen Walsh.
Here.
Barry Gardner.
Here.
Sherry Russell.
Here.
Tiffany Becker.
Here.
Bill Hines.
Here.
Don Harmon.
Here.
Chris May.
Here.
Shane McGinn. Here. And myself, established a quorum, Madam President. Sherry Russell.
You did.
I say, okay, I didn't think it worked. Sorry, Sherry. Sherry's double here.
All right, first order business is the secretary's report, which is the June meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the June meeting minutes. And I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Good. Treasurer's report. Oh,
We're already only a couple months into this year's budget, so everything is looking good. Revenue is favorable. Golf shop play was 27,000, better than expected. Payroll was running about normal, other than we're a little over with golf maintenance, but these guys start in the wee hours of the morning and work to the wee hours at night. And we're pretty much understaffed there, so that's not uncommon. We've collected 78% of the assessments so far. And capital spending was 278,000, and that was part of the 400,000 in capital spending we got earmarked for the roads and maintenance. So everything so far is looking good, and like I say, we're only 2 months in, so hopefully we'll have a good year.
okay. Two items of business. First, I'm going to give an update on the amendment. And the amendment is what we've been talking about for a few months around the rental and how we're going to address that. So 2 months ago or a month and a half ago, we passed the new DOR. So we now know what document we're going to be amending. I'm going to continue to update you each month on where we're at, because I know we all want to move quickly on this as a community, based on feedback we've received. Right now, what's happening is our outside legal counsel is drafting the documents that will support whatever tactic we end up voting on as a community. I was hoping to share that. Hopefully we'll have it next month. And the plan is to socialize it with the community before we put it out to vote. So if there's some input, we want to make sure it's something that will be supported before we mail it out, and then we just wait for the votes to come in. We'd rather be proactive, get the input before we actually send the mailing out. So it is top of mind. I'll continue to update, and hopefully we'll keep this moving. So I just wanted to at least address that. Second thing is we do have a new board member, Sherry Russell. She was voted in to replace Dennis Brown. She's going to be taking over his remaining term. So it was all done within how the bylaws lay it out, how you kind of, and I think we put it out to the community, and she was voted in. So I'm going to have her introduce herself. Oh, hold, please. Hold.
I can scream. Thank you. Thanks, Maureen. Hi, everybody. I'm Sherry Russell, as Maureen said. My husband, Eric, is sitting behind Dakota. He and I moved here in September 2020, and I have to say that we love it here, and we plan on staying here forever. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get more involved. I did start very early from an involvement perspective here in the neighborhood. I've been on the finance committee for a couple of years, and recently joined the strategic planning committee. And so when this opportunity came to put my resume in and to interview for a position on the board, I thought it was a great way for me to continue the involvement that I'd already started. Professionally, I started in public accounting, so my discipline, my education is accounting and finance. The majority of my career was at Coca-Cola. So I spent 33 years there before I retired shortly after moving here. So it was great timing. in terms of moving to this community and then retiring from the company. Most of my experience was accounting, finance, either operational or strategic finance, but I did do quite a bit of leading major initiatives, transformation, skill development, those types of things in other disciplines like data, process excellence, and deals. So I do have a broad range of experience that I hope the board will get to benefit from, but I'm also going to benefit from the learning process and being on a board for a community of this size. So I look forward to serving you guys, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Can you guys hear me? All right, so I did my manager's report on basically what's going on with the dams right now. I get a lot of questions in regards to the dams, so I just want to take a brief moment to brief the community on where we're at with the repairs. Fairfield has 2 Category 1 dams located at Lake Ashley and Lake Terra. Category 1 is defined as probable and possible catastrophic loss of life in the event that the dam is to fail, and this category of dam must be permitted. The dams are regulated by the state of Georgia through a division of the EPD called the Safe Dams Program. In 2019, Safe Dams notified us that we must install drains on both Lake Ashley and Lake Terra to help control seepage issues to be compliant. All earthen dams seep, however, the water must be channeled to avoid further damage to the dams. This is a project that we've been saving for since 2019. During the permitting process for the work, Safe Dams realized that the gates have not been tested in some time. Per their regulations, they must be operable and be able to drain the lakes down to a certain percentage in a certain time frame. Lake Terra has 2 gates, one located on the riser on the main spillway and one at the base of the dam. The gate on the main spillway was operated following the 2009 flood to allow the repairs. However, the lower gate at the base of the lake has not been operated since the dam was installed. After a dive inspection in 2020, the gate on Terra looks to be in decent shape, but the condition of the shaft that operates the gate is unknown since 95% of it is underground. Although Schnabel Engineering does not anticipate issues with this gate, fail-safe measures must be in place in the event that the gate does not close, as this gate was installed to ensure that the lake drains quickly in the event of an emergency. Unfortunately, the news on Lake Ashley is not as optimistic. Lake Ashley has only 1 gate attached to the main spillway near the dam. It was determined to be inoperable based on the dive inspections, and the gate and the shaft are covered in 100% corrosion and must be replaced. This gate's also missing a couple little parts to it. The gate testing and repairs are new expenses not in our original budgeted numbers. Schnabel, our engineer of record, is working to get worst case scenario numbers on the cost of the testing and the repairs so that we can put together a plan to get all of the work completed. Once we have the additional numbers, we'll meet again with the Safe Dams program in early September to revise our initial plan and timeframe to encompass all of this additional work. So wanted to update the community on that. Do you want me to go ahead?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Okay. On the sorry, went on in the tonight. Okay. So on new business, I'm going to go ahead and kind of brief everybody on where we're at for the country club repairs. As many of you guys know, the country club did flood, minor flooding due to a sprinkler head malfunction at the end of June. We worked with Cotton Commercial USA to remedy that water. They got everything dried up, and Cotton's actually working with the insurance company, and the insurance company is covering all of this, but all the floors have to be replaced, and of course the dining area, the veranda, part of the pro shop, the foyer and the office that is over there. So the board's approving tonight to contract with Cotton to do the repairs. And I don't have exact numbers on this, but the numbers they gave us before I talked to the insurance adjuster today was around $50,000 in repairs. But like I said, the insurance is covering that. So.
All right. So as Allison just explained, the country club, do I have a motion to approve? The country club repairs,
Motion to approve the repairs of the country club.
okay? Do I have a second? Okay, sure. All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. The next one is a failure to maintain lane. This is one, do you want to speak? Because what I want to do is I want to explain things before we make a motion, just give a couple of headlines. Maybe Bill. Bill.
Maybe me, okay. In talking with the various committees of community patrol, we currently go through fines and citations on a monthly basis. And it became apparent that we didn't have a correct charge citation for what's happening a lot in Fairfield, that's failure to maintain lane. So we were previously coding that as reckless driving, and we didn't consider it reckless driving. Plus, we have several ex-law enforcement officers on our committee as well, and they kind of agreed. So we thought we would change that. That needed to be changed because it's more appropriate as to what the charge is. So we're going to call it now failure to maintain lane, just like most county and municipalities have as well. So that's it.
All right, do I have a motion to approve
Yeah, I'll gladly
the
make that motion.
citations? All right,
I'll second.
a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. All right, we're going to move down to committee reports. What I'm thinking of doing to make it easier is just pass the microphone down, and that way you do whatever committee. So we might be going out of order, but I think it'll make more sense. I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Shane.
So you're gonna do greens and lakes and dams?
Yeah.
Okay, so now that it's summer, it's the hottest time of year, and it's really stressing our bent grass greens. Our maintenance staff is working really hard to keep the greens cool and to provide proper irrigation. If you see them out there on the course while you're playing, please give the staff a few minutes to finish their job. Some golfers want the maintenance staff to stop and wait for them to play through, but it should really be the other way around. Our staff is shorthanded and they're overworked, so please let them just finish their job. It won't take but a few minutes. The other thing I want to mention, the renovation on the number 2 tee box is nearly complete. I haven't ridden by and checked it out myself, but I've been told it looks great. Last thing I want to update you on is our membership numbers. Last month, we added 6 new accounts, giving us a total of 166 accounts. Continuing to grow our membership is key to our success at the golf course. And just for reference, 3 years ago, we had less than 100 accounts. So pre-COVID, we were significantly less than where we are at today. Lakes and dams. So the committee met in June and discussed water quality testing, strategic planning, the gas situation at Marina, and to coordinate 4th of July activities. Work at on the gas tank is complete, but we are waiting for the fire marshal to approve before we can pump gas. So it's out of our hands at this time. I know it's inconvenient, but there's nothing we can do. Let's see. Oh, water quality testing. Water testing is done 4 times a year. once in the winter to create a baseline, 3 times in the summer. In June, we got our report back and it came back Lake Terra is safe for swimming. And then the last thing I was going to mention was the drainage work, but Allison's already given you a good update on that.
Okay, moving along, I've got 2, Document Management Committee, and no, I'm not going to mention the DOR this time. Yay. But during the preparation for the revised Declaration of Restrictions, the Document Management Committee reviewed the DOR for all the routine requirements that should be moved to either the bylaws or committee rules to permit greater flexibility in management. We did this following approval of the DOR. The committee has now begun the arduous process of reviewing all the applicable documents to ensure that the items removed from the DOR were in fact put where they should have been put in the bylaws or in the committee rules. So this is an exciting time for the Document Management Committee. If any of you think you can stand the excitement, we'd like you to join us. So please get in contact with me or Allison to join Document Management. With the DORs behind us, that's the big thing. We're going to be working with all the committees now to make sure we've got everything on a smooth keel and we don't duplicate or conflict between committees and bylaws. So that'll definitely get things a little bit better as far as procedures go. Second thing, along with Brooks March, work on the Strategic Planning Committee. We've met 3 times. This is one heck of a committee. I think we've got a good momentum set up. The last time we tried this, we really didn't have the swing that we've got now. We've got some great committee members. They're dedicated to what we're doing. We do need a strategic plan in Fairfield. We are the 3rd largest community in Carroll County. We've got a budget and we've got to be able to budget for such things as dam repairs, continuing maintenance of the golf course and things like this, new fire equipment as it comes best. And we can't react and do knee jerk from year to year to year. So we're putting it together. Our first meeting, we came up with a motto, Fairfield, our home resort, live, relax, and play. That's the key. We live, we relax, and we play here in Fairfield. And the Strategic Planning Committee, working with all the committees, is going to make that work very well. We had each member of the Strategic Planning Committee line up with a regular Fairfield committee, Lakes and Dams, Recreation, Community Patrol, and as such. They went ahead and attended the meetings, explained what we were trying to do with the strategic plan to the committees, and we're getting input from the committees as far as what their priorities are. What do the committees want to do? Then we're going to get all these back, look at them from the planning committee standpoint, line them out so they make sense, get sort of a plan out to the future. The next thing is to then cost it. That's the key. So we're working hard with the finance committee and the regular committees again to find out what's the bill for what we want to do and how we're going to pay for it. That goes into the strategic plan. So this committee is going to be working very hard from now on out. We've got, I think, 9 members on the committee. And again, 9 very aggressive, hardworking people. And I think we're finally going to get a plan together that Fairfield can live with. So I'm very proud of that action.
Thank you, Eric. I actually have the community patrol plan right here, so you can see it's a thick document. A lot of thought, a lot of preparation goes into each one of these categories that we're working on. Community patrol, summertime brings many additional challenges and occurrences to community patrol here in Fairfield. More visitors, more activities, more boats, more cars, more everything. Community patrol continues to see excessive speeding throughout our subdivision. SPA will be continuing their intensive patrols to make sure that our speed limits are being followed. Likewise, SPA is increasing their patrols on the lakes, and as we've seen an increase in citations there as well. So we're monitoring jet skis and boats. They've gone up from June, July this year compared to same period last year. We continue to monitor the request for speed signs and caution signs as needed. And the biggest thing that's been brought to our attention is in the last several Fairfield newsletters, we've printed out the rules of the lakes. And I don't think people are reading them because we've had way too many violations, safety violations, almost resulting in severe crashes, injuries, possibly loss of life, people that don't have the right boats, operating boats, lights on there at nighttime. So if you have a boat, if you have a neighbor or a friend who has a boat, make sure they have their lights on because they're going to be looking for it. And hopefully they'll get it fixed so we don't have any type of accident. That's it for community control. Property control. Due to the many applications for new construction, additions, renovations, new fences, roofs, painting, you name it, we've continued to meet every 2 weeks. We were meeting once a month, but the amount of applications that we had was mind-boggling, and we're spending many, many hours just meeting every 2 weeks at this time. We ask everybody to remember to submit all requests for new projects at least 3 weeks in advance, maybe 4 weeks before your start date, especially with the cost of materials. And I know sometimes it's difficult to do that, but otherwise people are beating down Allison's door saying, hey, I have contractors coming in a week and I haven't filled out an application yet. What can you do for me? Makes it real difficult for us to work. So get your projects in as soon as possible. We continue to work on acceptable rules, and we'll be talking more about this for parking surfaces in Fairfield. We'll have updates soon, but for now, the only 2 approved surfaces are concrete and asphalt. That's it.
Thank you, Bill. First, I want to thank our first responders and our fire and rescue department. We are blessed to have a good group of folks that meet the needs of people 24 hours a day. Our fire calls continue to climb marginally as our number of residents climbs. Year to date, we have 260 calls compared to 240 last year. This month, for example, we had 37 calls. The bulk of these calls being public service type of calls, with 34 of the 37 calls being public service type of calls. One dispatched en route, canceled route, one lightning struck, and one extinguishing activation system that they responded to at a house. So we have a great group. They continue to move forward and take care of our community and make us all feel safe, keep our insurance rates down. As well, they've been very active in the strategic planning and looking forward to what they need in the future for that department. Just an additional comment to Barry on strategic planning. Our real goal at the end of this, besides really giving us a view of how we're going to support that vision, what we're going to do with our amenities here, we will also have a broad look at a 5-year budget so we can see what the impact of this is on our dues. And we can say, here's the cost of our choices that we make. This is our community. Without taking a broad, long look at that, we really can't do anything but go by the seat of our pants and say that this is really the size of a small municipality with most of the same services. And so we have to approach it in that way. So appreciate all the many people that are helping on the strategic planning committees, lots of activity, and the number of people that responded to the community survey we sent out was almost unprecedented how quickly and how many responses we got. So a lot of people that care about our community, and your strategic planning folks that are all participating care as much. So thank you again very much for all the members of our strategic planning committee. And back to the beginning of what I started with, I'm always thanking our first responders. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm going to talk about recreation. And the committee is working on planning events for the fall and early spring already. And I think the greatest need that the rec committee needs is volunteers. There's not enough volunteers. We would all like to have, a lot of events for kids and stuff like that, but it's just really hard with our committee. So if you are interested in being on the rec committee, we would gladly invite you to help out with some of the events that we'd like to do for the kids as well as for the adults in the community. I'm also going to talk about community relations, and that is basically 4th of July. We had a great 4th of July. It was really hot, but it was great. Everything pulled together. Every year we get better and better at this, and we seem to have more and more involvement in the community. So I'm happy about all the things that went on 4th of July, and I want to thank everybody that was involved. I also want to thank the fire department and our spa for always stepping up and doing above and beyond what they're actually called to actually do here in the community. So I just want to thank everybody, and our staff at the POA as well. I mean, they they will do anything for our 4th of July, and they've gone above and beyond. So I just want to thank everybody for that as well. Thank you. Oh, I apologize. Yes, I did want to talk about that. Thank you. I'm sorry. There has been some issues at the beach with people bringing glass into the beach area. And it is not allowed. There are signs that are posted everywhere saying that it's not allowed. And it's become quite a problem. And it's something that we're going to be really following through with. And, you know, we can do all the bag searches and stuff like that. But I really feel like it's not up to our beach hosts to, you know, police the people, to police our community. This is our community, and the rec and the beach and the pool areas are part of our amenities, which is part of our extended privilege of having it for our homes even. So I just really feel like people should be a little more respectful with the rules, because all we need is for the glass to be broken and a child or even an adult to cut themselves. It's a very serious situation. So if you know, please mind what the rules are and be respectful to the hosts at the pool as well as at the beach areas. Thank you.
My name is Chris May, and I'm the liaison for road and maintenance. And as you know, that we completed the parking lot at the clubhouse, which really made it look very nice and appealing, especially since our golfing has really picked up now, and it's more inviting as people come to our clubhouse. I want to thank Jim Stevenson. He is a remarkable person. He is a hard-working person who has dedicated his time unselfishly to make sure that our roads are maintained. One of the biggest issues that we have in here, and it's going to be something that's going to take place for a good while, and that is the building that's going on, the building of houses going on in here. They have to cut into the road to connect the sewage and the water as well. So there's going to be areas that are going to be, matter of fact, just coming here a while ago, there was 3 areas that had gravel over the top of them, and that gravel's there to hopefully pack down, and it takes a while for that gravel to pack before they can cover it with asphalt. But we're on top of it, and Jim is doing a tremendous job, and Dean also is doing a tremendous job in going back and patching. Then of course we have water main breaks. We had another one just recently, and that's something that Carroll County Water Authority and we work with to make sure that they do their part in repairing not just the water mains, but also the road as well. One of the streets that we did have completely redone was Ayers Creek or Ayers Court, and it's over in section 2. And I know they're very happy about that. That was a terrible road that needed a lot of work, but it's all paved now and it looks real good. And unfortunately, it's just that our budget only allows us, $250,000 a year for our roads. So hopefully in the future, maybe some of that will change to where we can do more work for our roads as time goes on. So thank you.
I'll steal yours.
Down to Maureen.
All right, I get the good part. We're going to adjourn the formal part of the meeting. Do I have a motion to?
I'll make a motion.
Tiffany and Bill, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, now we're going to move to the open forum. So Brooks is grabbing the list from the back. So just to remind everyone, we're going to try to have a 2-minute limit for everyone to speak. I'm just thinking, should I hand this or so everyone can hear what they're saying? The microphone.
All right, I'll go ahead and just hand you the microphone, and that way it might be easier. I know, I agree. All right, first up is Bill Knight, and I'm going to bring it over to you. Okay.
I don't believe so. I don't have a report from Lake Ashley. Is there? I'll be sure to bring that up at our next committee meeting.
We do testing on athletes, not as regularly as para. More activity. The last time it was tested, I want to say it was about a year or so ago, and it was fine.
All right. Next up is Eric Bernhardt. Hopefully I said your name correctly. I might go ahead. Stand. I don't know if you guys can hear it. There's some animal in the it's walking out. Might be a bat, so I don't know. Bird. Is it bird?
Birds.
Okay. I don't want to get a rabies shot. so-
My question to you guys, and it comes about the failure to maintain lane.
Yes.
You know that?
How about now? Okay. Failure to maintain lanes. The painting, as everybody knows, on Lakeview Parkway is almost non-existent in a lot of places. And at night, especially coming around from the back gate, down around everywhere. And I have had to come to a stop when people were over on my side of the road because I can't blame them because they can't see the lane. What is the possibility of getting reflective striping?
Allison, you want to comment on the painting and striping?
Playing together.
All the striping that was initially budgeted for last year has been done. I know the Roads and Maintenance Committee, if that's an ongoing thing, I'm gonna send that back to them. I know some mention was made of some reflectors as well. So I will defer that back to the Roads and Maintenance Committee and see if we can get a plan together for the next areas we're gonna do that on. So.
Next up is Susan Bernhardt. Any relation?
I'm not quite sure who I should ask, but I just noticed, now we know we're gonna get a new floor and. Oh, okay. Eric, I'm sure knows that I speak loud. My question is, I know that we're gonna have the new floors over at the clubhouse, but I've noticed the last couple of years, the clubhouse does not seem to look proper for Fairfield Country Club. When you walk into the doors, the paint, the white paint on the doors going in are very dirty. And the bathroom that we have to use now, I know we still have the other ones, you can walk all the way around, but if you do trivia and then we have a big group that comes in there on Wednesday nights and then we go in there at different times, the bathroom in that bar area is terrible. They need to maintain that better. The floors need to be cleaner. The walls need to be cleaner. I don't know if we need to do some projects in there to make it look nicer. But I just think for our clubhouse, it should look better. I think there's quite a few things that we could do. And I do know that there's been people that have even made the comment that they would be willing to help do things to beautify that also, if that's what we need to do. I don't know what's the proper thing to do as far as all of us that live here.
And Susan, it just as a point of reference. Oh, okay. Okay.
As far as the bar bathroom is the responsibility of the tenants. and any improvement that he wants to make, all he has to do is get permission from the board. But we did have a cleaning lady that was still maintaining the country club. And when she left the association, we didn't hire anybody else, and she was helping out in that department as far as cleaning. Just so that we can keep her hours up. She was doing it previous before the tenant moved in. We have not been able to fill that position, but even with that position not filled, it is the responsibility of the tenant to maintain that bathroom. Just last week, I did email him and bring that to his attention. Well, for the exterior is actually slated to get freshened up this fall. As far as that goes. Now, as far as the paint inside the foyer, when you first walk in, the baseboards, all of that's getting replaced due to the damage. So we are getting an upgrade there. So.
All right, next up is Brenda Rhodes.
My name is Brenda Rhodes, and I have lived here for 29 years. I met a lady, I'm in the water aerobics group, and we met a lady last week, a week before last, and she was new. I mean, we just started talking to her casually, and someone said, where, when you meet somebody, you say, where do you live? How long you've been here? Just, not being nosy. We just all do that. So we said, where do you live? Have you been out here very long? And she goes, oh, no, I don't live out here. I live, and I'm not going to say where, but it's about 20 miles from here. And she said, we joined the golf course or the golfers thing yesterday on a Sunday. And she said, now we can use the pool. And we went, really? She said, yeah, that's part of the package. Well, several of us were very upset about it because we own that pool. We pay for the maintenance of that pool. So anyway, I went to Brandy and said something to Brandy. Brandy said, well, that's not true. Then she went to somebody and found out it is true. But can you change a bylaw to change something like that without everybody knowing? And she also has a key. And she came in this week, and 3 ladies came in, and she got up and ran to the gate and opened the gate and let them in. They didn't sign in, nothing. So, I mean, we don't have enough chairs up there anyway. And we just don't feel like it's right. But is this true? If you join the golfers, that your family is, she said they could use the pool, and she's been there just about every day, which is okay. But is that true? Or?
There is one particular golf membership, and they do pay additional. It's a good bit additional to have the pool privilege, but it's only the pool privilege at the country club. It is not for the beach, it's not for the rec, but it is a golf membership that they can get, and they do pay a lot more for it.
Do they have visitors?
To my knowledge, I don't think that they're supposed to have visitors with that. So I can address that with the pro shop. They do. Even just a regular golf member typically would get, a non-resident golf member would get a gate card to get into the gate, but it's normally just to get into the gate. It normally doesn't activate the pool unless they have that particular package. And then we can actually, at the POA office, we can actually set that card to what it opens.
paying more, but they're not paying the maintain.
Well, that money goes into the general fund with everything else.
It hasn't always been like this.
I believe that there has been packages that wasn't outlined before, but I believe that there was packages in the past that offered it.
I think just to build on what Shane was saying, what I think's happening is the golf course is attracting a lot of new members, which they're also selling that bigger package.
Yeah, I
So-
don't think that package has been very popular. I think we've offered it for a while. This seems like the first case I've heard of anyone signing up for that package.
How much is the package?
I don't know off the top of my head.
It is more than a regular. We'll look into it for sure. We're gonna look into it.
But I don't think it's very popular with the golfers.
I agree. We'll look into it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all right, we'll check that too.
yeah. It's actually new to me as well.
Yeah.
So, I'm a little surprised as well. So I'll definitely, I'm really interested in finding out more about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Next up, Terry Jinks.
My concern is, when is FedE's contract, that y'all will revote on it?
It's actually up for renewal this August. But he does have the option to renew.
Okay. As a homeowner and as somebody that goes to the country club at least 2 or 3 times a week, I'm not very happy with his attitude towards us as an association. I'm not happy with the tables being broken, the chairs being broken, the dirty windows that are up there that is not clean, the floor's not clean. And having a 90 scoring is not acceptable for me. I would like to see that he should not renew his contract. I've tried somebody.
Next up, we've got. Stephanie?
Have it once.
Just tap it.
Hello.
Hello, I've spoken to you before about the country club. I think you remember. The issue that I really have, I want to know, is that an amenity for us? Is it? Can somebody answer that? Okay, so why can't I go there and have dinner and be able to talk to the person across from me without music blasting so loud that I can't enjoy a meal? Okay, his staff is not allowed to turn the music down or they will be fired. They have told us that. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I have talked to Fede and he made a joke out of it. He thought this was very funny. So I think the board needs to meet with him, seriously. I mean, I would like to go there. I'd like to have a nice meal. I'd like to, have family come and enjoy it, but I will not. I haven't been there in months because you can't even hear the person across the table from you. So I would just appreciate the board talking to him about it and his attitude. If we're going to lease to somebody one of our amenities, then they should have consideration for the community.
All right, Debbie Russo.
I was a teacher for 30 years. Everybody has said several things about the country club, which I agree. One thing we haven't said is the food there is great. Robert is very good. But there's nobody to acknowledge you when you walk in. You trip over the tablecloths in the dining room because they don't fit the tables. The cleanliness is an issue in the bathrooms, and I apologize, Allison. I've managed many contracts, and saying it's the responsibility of the individual you contract with is not a sufficient answer. It's our contract. If it's not in there, we need to put things in there. We're talking about redoing it. This is the opportunity. I don't think we should miss it. We've heard a lot tonight. this is another opportunity to upgrade. We don't need lousy commercial roads. So let's take these opportunities to make it a better amenity for all of us. Stop signs. I just wish somebody could explain to me why a four-way intersection, there are three-way stops. If you go from the back gate to the front gate, you have two more stop signs than you do from the front to the back. That could be part of our speeding problem that I hear about just about every board meeting. The other thing I wanted to mention, you mentioned about the lakes and dams, and we're talking about capacity. Has there ever been a capacity study? Our lake is not huge, and we have lots and lots and lots more boats. We've added docks, we've had accidents. Somebody was talking about some issues on the lake. So looking at a capacity issue might also be something that we would want to consider for the safety of our community. Thank you.
Okay, so, yeah. What's no committee? It's the board. But it's, I mean, it's something, I think last time did we put it up for bid, or it's something we can put out for bid too?
Good question. Board as a whole.
That's what.
Just have it in red, it's not on.
No?
There you
Oh,
go. You got it.
okay, so. So what Allison was just saying is with the FedA lease, we did originally bid it out. So it's something that, you know, as we get this input, we'll make sure before we have the option, you know, we can also consider bidding it out like we did last time.
My memory serves me well, no one else bid on it.
I know.
That's what I recall.
Yeah, nobody wanted it.
Empty.
I think we were losing 400,000 a year on believing.
And we were losing multi-hundred thousands a year on it, so it was not better empty, but it's not acceptable how it is. We understand it and we're with you on it. So.
Yeah.
Well, heard.
There were people interested. So you mentioned to me recently that there were people interested in looking at the lake.
I think the next time around, we will see other interest, yes.
Okay, anybody else? We'll go to meet the candidates then. Allison, how do we want to bring a chair up and we're just, everybody come up? We're going to do it alphabetically. So we've got, so what we're going to do is each candidate's going to come up and introduce themselves, take 2 minutes. We're just going to try to limit it so they can introduce themselves and.
Lonnie will be timing.
Okay.
And we'll start in who's running. Let's start with Tiffany Becker.
Hello, I'm Tiffany Becker. Many of you know me, some don't. My husband and I have lived here for 8 years, and this is going to be, I've been on the board for 2 terms now. And I'm not going to say that I've enjoyed my time on the board. It's been hard, but it's been worthwhile. And I think things that are worthwhile don't necessarily have to be fun, and they're not necessarily easy. So I've kind of been the person that kind of say what's on my mind, and sometimes that's good and sometimes that's not great. But I really love living here. My husband and I, like I said, we've lived here for 8 years. We were blessed enough to be able to bring my parents here to live. And And now we have a child that lives here and she's raising her children here. So I definitely have put roots in the community. And even in the short time that I've been on the board or in the community, it has grown exponentially. And that's great because it really is a terrific place to live and to grow a family. And I've really appreciated working on the board. And part of a couple of the committees that I've worked on is rec and community patrol, and those two are really important to me. And I've worked really hard on putting money aside, getting money put aside for a rec center. We do desperately need a rec center. We've needed one since the day I moved in, and I hope to see that to fruition in my lifetime here. And but as you've heard with the dam issues, we have some really serious issues that we need to work with. And I just hope that you will vote for me again and allow me to serve for you. Thank you.
Next up will be Lance Coretta. You said.
You put weird thing down, yeah.
Yeah, however you want. It does look on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a seat, have a seat. Is it already on?
Yeah, I think so.
Good evening. My name is Lance Hirota. I'm 35 years old and I lived here for about 3 years now. I plan on being at Fairfield for a long time, so I want to get involved as well with the committee and join the board. Out of high school, I went through EMT school in the fire academy. I was a firefighter EMT for several years in Central Florida. Moved up to Georgia. I volunteered with Alpharetta and Holly Springs for a while. Left my fire career in about 2016. My film career now I do stunts for a living, film and television. So good day, get lit on fire now. Full circle. My intentions of looking to the board is to help the current members continue to make this community a better one by the day. Heard a lot of problems today already. I like to help the team address those and work on those. And now, especially now with expenses, things getting higher, more expensive, it's a lot harder to make those dollars, especially without cutting corners. Just to learn members' thoughts, concerns, issues, ideas for things like the planning committee and everything to keep things going well. But just to grow this community better and than it can be than it was before. Thank you, guys.
Hi, my name's Shane McGuinn. I've lived here in Fairfield since 2000. My wife and I have raised our 3 girls here, and we absolutely love it in Fairfield. Don't ever plan on leaving. Let's see, I'm currently a researcher at the Georgia Tech Research Institute, where I've been working on avionics software for about 10 years now. Prior to that, I worked in commercial software for about 14 years. 3 years ago, decided to run for the board after I was a victim of selective enforcement. So being on the board, enforcement policy has been very important to me. Rules need to be fair, effective, and uniformly enforced. Can't waive rules for your friends. We all need to be playing by the same rules. Another priority for me has been the golf course. Our golf course was in pretty bad shape about 3 years ago. Our greens were roughly 80% weeds. And about not even 2 years ago, we hired Jason to take over as our superintendent. He and his staff have done an amazing job. The playing conditions are fabulous, and that's allowed us to increase our dues. We've added initiation fee, and at the same time, we've been signing up new members every month. So we're trying to get to break even. We got a lot of work to do, but we're on the right path. I did want to share my top 3 traits for a great board member with you. Number 1, you got to know the governing documents really well because the board's responsible for upholding the governing documents. Number 2, you got to be passionate about Fairfield. And 3, you got to be able to remain calm in heated situations. I think that's what it takes to be a great board member. So it's been a pleasure serving Fairfield on the board these past 3 years. Be glad to serve another 3 years, and I thank you for your consideration.
Okay, I'm Stephen Smith. Lived here since 2006. I've been with Ragsdale Heating and Air, which probably served a lot of your heating and cooling needs throughout the neighborhood. I was in the Army and Infantry, Berlin, Germany, 1990, 91, 92. My daughter is a kart girl here, so probably a lot of you golfers know Ariel. I want this place that we call home to be everything that it possibly can be. Some of the things that would be beneficial, obviously, there's been numerous people talking about striping of the roads tonight. Just drop it. Not going to keep on beating a dead horse. It's been needed for years. It needs done. We definitely need something to be done with this rec center, whether to tear it down and replace it, whether to gut it out and rebuild off the existing footprint, add a second story, do something needs to be done with this. Several years ago, there was a putt-putt course right down the hill here that was basically removed due to safety hazards. I think that we need to have another putt-putt course, possibly with local business sponsoring to help that. Some dog parks maybe throughout the neighborhood on some of the POA lots that are not necessarily buildable or sellable. Maybe just get a bobcat in there, clear out a little bit of area, have some dog parks. I just want everyone to have a smile when they enter into our neighborhood, which is our home. And I'm not against a one-time assessment of potentially like $500–600 to pay for the new rec center, but have that assessment payable over a 4, 5, 6 month period. Just a $500 assessment, 2,000 people, that's $1 million. That would create a heck of a rec center. And as everyone knows, inflation is going through the roof. Interest rates that are being paid out on our existing savings, bonds, stocks, whatever, are very low. So it would behoove us to do this faster rather than later.
I always am. No.
Hi, Charles Swain. I'm probably the rookie of the group that's running here. I've only been on this team for since September. We moved here after visiting for the last 2 years my sister here and got jealous of where she lived. We were over in the metro area and we decided let's get the heck out of there and move out here. So we're very happy. I've been involved with the community. Started immediately playing tennis, recently playing pickleball, playing guitar with a bunch of guys, walking, listening to that loud music at the country club, going to the marina. We just love everything about it. After I moved here, I started saying I wanted to volunteer on the committees and have had the pleasure of starting working on the strategic planning committee, on the roads and maintenance, on the community patrol, and also on the tennis. They don't have an official committee, but I've joined on that one as well. I grew up in Charleston, South Carolina. I went to college in Charleston, moved over to North Carolina to attend hotel school, spent my early career in hotels, from starting out as a dishwasher all the way to running 15 hotels. That industry was a little bit of a challenge and decided to move into the commercial real estate industry. And I've been there for 23 years. Right now, I started a company in 2020, my own company in commercial real estate. And in the commercial real estate business, I kind of make it similar to what we do. I was in charge of finance and accounting, construction, development, and all aspects of operations. We had about 60 million square feet, a couple $1 billion of real estate. And I think that some of the things that you see in commercial real estate is no different than what we see here and running the operations of this. So I'm just hoping that my experience can provide some asset here to this group. Also, when living in Gwinnett County, we lived there for about 22 years. I joined with Leadership Gwinnett. I spent 10 years volunteering with Leadership Gwinnett. Well, that was quick.
Yeah.
Wow, I almost went fast. Anyway, whether I'm on the board or not, I hope just to volunteer and help all of you guys. And kudos to all of you. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
All right. Last but not least, so I have to digress. My maiden name was Vaccarillo with a V. So I was always at the end of the alphabet. So when I met my husband Walsh, I'm like, okay, still at the back, but I don't have to spell it for everyone maybe. So I consider it a win. But I've lived in the neighborhood 10 years. I've been on the board for 2 years. My background is in finance. And I am working part-time for another company doing sponsorship negotiations. So I'm used to also being around contracts as well as financials. So why do I want to run for the board again? Well, a lot of exciting things are happening. We passed the DOR. We've got some new documents to work with. I'm really excited about the strategic planning committee. I'm excited with the enthusiasm. I love planning, so I'm really happy that we're getting this started and we're going to be mapping out a future. And I'm also excited that this year, last year we didn't have enough people running. This year we've got double the number running. This is great. So we're getting the community involved again. So I'm excited about that. Another reason I want to be on the board, I want to see some things through. I want to see that rental cap through or whatever we decide to do around it. So I want to kind of close some things out. So I want to make sure I'm on to see that through. And then as far as what I think we can do better, I think we can communicate better. And I don't know what the answer is. I don't think it's Facebook. We send out email blasts. We've had town halls with the DR. We didn't have a good attendance. So we've got to find a way to communicate more. I mean, tonight is great. We're excited. Usually we don't have more than a few seats filled. So I want to find a way that we can continue to have open dialogue, get feedback. So that's another one of my missions. So I think that's it. Okay. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you. You have a question?
Yeah. I did have one further question. I wasn't on the sign up sheet. There's 30 seconds. To facilitate these dam repairs at no point, do you foresee having to drain the lakes, or is that something that divers can take care of?
The plan is not to drain the lake.
Yeah, they're trying to avoid draining the lake. But
Yeah.
All repairs will be done underwater.
Thank you, everyone.